Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us this evening for the ninth week of the Rugby Research and Injury Prevention Group's 2025 Professional Development. Now we will begin with our first presenting intern, Nadira Peaks from Adelphi University. Nadira will be presenting on professional networking. Nadira, may you please share your screen?
Hello, everyone. My name is Nadira Peaks, and tonight I'll be presenting on professional networking. So, what is networking? Networking in a professional context is the process of building and maintaining relationships with people who can help advance one's career or personal goals. It involves forming genuine connections with people, not just exchanging information. Networking can lead to new job opportunities, career advice, and industry insights. What are the ways that people can build their professional networks? You can build them in a formal setting. You can do this by attending conferences, industry events, or workshops. These events will typically attract individuals with specific professional interests, whether that be astrophysics or sports medicine. It can also increase the likelihood of finding relevant contacts. Through an informal setting, you can connect with colleagues and former coworkers. Networking can occur over dinner or at a personal celebration, like a birthday party or just a casual hangout with friends. It can also occur in an online setting. You can connect with other people on online platforms. These include LinkedIn, Instagram, or Facebook, or other social media platforms. You want to follow people with the same professional interests as you and even join online groups. So what should you wear at a networking event? Well, you can't go wrong with business casual. This kind of style balances professionalism with approachability. Over here on the right, we can see a picture of a business professional attire. We have a common attribute of neat professional hairstyles. Could have a solid color. Women could wear pantyhose. Men could wear long sleeve shirts. Dark socks, moderate shoes are very good. A general tip is to ensure your outfit is comfortable enough for mingling and standing for long periods of time. You're going to be there for a long time, so it is good if you stay comfortable. You should choose well-fitting quality clothes that reflect your personal style. And remember, you want to present your best professional self. So how should you prepare for a networking event? Before you go to a networking event, it is essential to prepare for it so that you avoid being confused or uncertain during the event. You should research the event and attendees, find out who will be there and what topics will be presented. From this, you'll identify potential connections and tailor your conversations. You should practice active listening. You should make sure that you are present when speaking with other attendees and process what they are saying. Another important thing is to craft your elevator pitch. It is important to prepare a brief 30-second to 1-minute introduction that describes who you are, your professional interests, and your professional goals. And it is also important to practice your delivery. You should plan conversation starters. Just plan a few open-ended questions to initiate conversations and show genuine interest in other attendees. So you're at the networking event. What should you do? Well, as we have spoke about in our previous professionalism lectures, body language is very important. Maintain interested facial expressions during conversations. Remember to make eye contact within reason. Keep a professional posture, which means no slouching. And it's important to take notes and collect business cards. You also want to engage in conversation. You should apply the skills that you prepared ahead of time to make sure that you make the most of the event. These skills were talked about. They are elevator pitch or open-ended questions. What should you do after the networking event? After your networking event, you should organize your business cards and notes. You can identify individuals that you have spoken to and make details of your conversation. Make note of anything you remembered specifically from that specific conversation. You should send personalized follow-up emails, and you should do this within 24 to 48 hours. You should express interest in staying in touch with these emails and mention something specific from your conversation to refresh their memory so that they can remember you. You should connect on LinkedIn. Send connection requests. Once the individual follows you back, send a message referencing the event and your conversation. You can like and comment on posts like LinkedIn, or join communities. So here are some common misconceptions of networking. It's only for extroverts. This is not true. Introverts can also thrive at networking by prioritizing genuine one-on-one interactions. Meaningful connections built on authenticity and sincerity often leave a stronger impression than by simply being outgoing. Networking is only for job seekers. This is not true as well. Networking should be a continuous process, not just when you need something. Building relationships when you need them is important for long-term career growth and professional connections. So here are some benefits of networking. For relation to career development, it enhances your job opportunities. You can uncover hidden job opportunities that are not publicly advertised. This is very important. With career support, experienced professionals can provide guidance, mentorship, and support. In skill development, networking will help you foster continuous learning and skill enhancement in your field. With regards to professional or personal development, it can build your confidence and your professional reputation. Networking with other people can help you build genuine relationships and long-lasting connections. And in the context of perspective, it encourages you to view different viewpoints and ideas. So these are the key takeaways that you should get from professional networking. Networking can lead to new job opportunities, career advice, and industry insights. You can build your network in formal, informal, and online settings. It is important to prepare for a networking event ahead of time to avoid any uncertainty and boost your overall confidence in attending the networking event. It is always important to follow up with an individual after a networking event, especially if they have something that you like. Remember, if you feel anxious or nervous during a networking event, that is normal. Take deep breaths and go to designated areas when you need a break. Keep in mind, you've prepared for this and you're going to do great. These are my references, and thank you for listening to my presentation. Are there any questions?
Thank you for that excellent presentation. And like Nadir said, are there any questions, or Dr. Lopez, would you like to add anything?
So I think, Nadir, you covered quite very good points. With networking, it's always hard. You feel that you're not certain what you should be presenting, what you should be talking about, what you should be engaging with. But what happens is that if you don't practice, if you don't open up, I think at the ACSM meeting, they have actually, an opportunity for you to mingle with students meet with mentors. And they give you this room where you can mingle, and they know that you are practicing your skill sets. That's why we try to cover all of this here. Everything that we've incorporated in this is so that this way you can benefit from it, right? I think, whoever was with me at ACSM, Philip saw me work the room. He saw me work the groups, saw me work discuss things with the different doctors. Don't not overburden them with topics, but sow some seeds, tell them thank you very much for their time, and then move on to the next group if they're engaged or they want to talk with us about something. It's important for them to decide how they want to interact with you as well. So you kind of got to read the room. You can talk with everyone. I think I passed Philip off on to a good 20 people each time we interacted, right, Philip? So it's unique because I introduce you guys, and it's up to you to interact, find out where this professor's from. I think we interacted with him and Dr. Rebecca Hassan from University of Michigan, right there, right? Hopefully Philip followed up with her or sent an email and said, hey, thanks so much for meeting me. We'll look forward to meeting with you or discussing things with you. Maybe, he was afraid. Maybe he was afraid that, he was going to commit to her lab or something of that nature. You shouldn't. An email's an email. You send it out. We've sent emails to deans and get no response back. But listen, all you can do is try. You get it? And then, like I said, in the big picture, I'm also giving you all the encouragement that you can do it. There's no wrong, there's no right. You're just trying. And once you find the angle on how to approach someone, or you need to find your own angle for doing that. I guess I was very fortunate in developing that early on, and I had to and I parlayed that into this, where and I put any of you in front of people, you know. So when we go to meetings or something like that, I'll always defer to either one of. I mean, you see me do it right now when I defer to you guys to talk about it, right? I don't need to speak on the topic or subject matter, or if I say, what do you recall ACSM, Philip? Philip can talk about it from his perspective, which would be more relevant to you guys, because then this way you get to see the networking, how it goes. Philip, why don't you expand a little bit how we worked the rooms and we went to the different meetings? We actually had a full-on plan. You get what I mean?
Yeah, I think definitely specifically for a conference when you know that there's gonna be a lot of people in attendance and people that you need to touch up on, it is good to have a plan. But regardless, there's just a ton of opportunities in like the hallways and the different rooms, the different convention rooms, like if they're the big rooms or the halls, there's always opportunities to just talk to people. And it's also just the environment there is very welcoming that, you're expected to network. And that's why it's really important to take part in that. To touch on your point about making sure that you touch base with everybody, that's definitely very important, especially if you know somebody. As always, like just like how you would want to say hi to somebody in that professional setting, you want to say hi, but also, touch base on something that, you saw that they did recently or something that the two of you guys worked on recently. And then you can give an update about what you did, but at the same time, as Dr. Lopez said, you don't want to, overburden them. Because if you make it too complicated, then they'll kind of like tune it out. But just being nice and touching base, so they say, "Oh, hey, Dr. Lopez and his team is here," and they were really pleasant to meet. Then that's a successful interaction that you have there. And then if you can do that, dozens of times at a conference or convention, that's a really great thing.
Now, the hook note that Nadira brought up, I think that's Nadira said to use when you reach out to people, if you reach out to them or they accept your request on LinkedIn, you could send them a follow-up saying, hey, we met here and here. That's the hook. So you say, oh, hey, Dr. Bogway, do you remember I asked you about the trauma question? That's your hook right there, Marianas. If you wanted to reach out to Dr. Bogway in theory, that's the hook of that's what he's going to remember. You get it? So when you write that out, that will most likely be an important letter when you request letters of recommendation or put together a cover letter. Dear, if Dr. Bogway was, say, hypothetically, director of orthopedics at Buffalo, you could say, dear Dr. Bogway, it was a pleasure to meet you. If you recall, I was on the call and we discussed trauma and your experience in trauma and its influence in sports medicine. Thank you so much. I'm applying blah, blah, blah to the Orthopedic Sports Medicine Foundation, to the, program, blah, 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 blah. You get it? So that's the hook. And that should always be in the first sentence when you guys had an interaction with someone, right? So Nadira brought that up, and I think it's important for all of you to keep that in mind. Again, I want to put you guys in front of people. Don't worry about that. We'll get that all sorted out. I hope, or I can say, coming towards the end now, that we've engaged you all in your particular areas that you have interest in. Nadira, obviously, the different papers or topics we've been working on, Asha, but these are all different things that are going to benefit you. And hopefully, we'll be working on them over the next couple of months. Now, don't worry so much. Philip and Asha both tell you, right? We respect exam times and blocks. We don't bother you doing that during that time. Like I said, I can't sit for your exams. You have to do that yourself. But do know for a fact, as Dr. Bogway said, you need to do things during that spare time. And if you're going to do something, it better be something really good. you got to stand out of the crowd. It's important, right? Luckily, like I said, luckily I've done a lot of the trailblazing at, one of the largest conferences in the world, and at ECSM, where they're embracing me to move up in the chain of administration for them. These are things that can benefit us all.
That will conclude our call for today. We thank everyone who joined us for the Rugby Research and Injury Prevention Group 2025 Professional Development Series. Thank you everyone for joining us.